Hey, what's up DIYers? Mike Boards with the Mike Boards channel. Thank you for watching. We're working on a 2-stroke Mercury outboard engine, and we are going to replace the fuel filter, the housing, and the hoses. It's basically a kit you can buy. Let's get started. All right, DIYers, outside of the boat now. This is a 25 horsepower 2-stroke Mercury outboard engine, and let's go ahead and remove the upper cap. Lower lever here. Carefully shift this up and off the engine, set it in a safe location. With the top cover off, we now have much better access to all the internal parts of your engine. Up here is our fuel filter housing or cup slash reservoir, the upper mount it secures to. Got a couple hoses that come out. As you can see here, those feed into the upper portion of the fuel filter. And before anything, what we want to do is inspect this and compare it to the new one that we have and just verify it is all the same, because in the event that they look different, well, chances are you got the wrong part, so there's no need to take anything apart. At the workstation now, here's our Mercury fuel filter kit, and you got the hoses, tie straps, you've got the fuel filter housing slash cup, reservoir, whatever you want to call it, and everything is the exact same as the old one installed in our engine, so we can continue the project. At this point, I place paper towel at the low point to catch any and all fuel that leaks out of the lower hose. We need to remove these tie straps to remove those hoses. One on the left side and this one right here. And I'm going to carefully cut those tie straps away with this right here. Be patient and be careful. Watch your eyes when you snip this. You don't want that tie strap flying at your face. Just like that. And we'll have to the other side and do the other. Opposite hose tie strap has been cut. Carefully remove these. And from here we will carefully remove this hose. Again, it is going to leak and it may be on there pretty firmly. You may have to use a little bit of friendly force to remove this. Just be careful as you do this. You don't want to harm any other parts. Quick update DIYers, as I was trying to remove these hoses, it doesn't look like I have much clearance. So when I pull this up, it doesn't have enough room to come all the way off the lower nipple that it secures to. I'm going to cut the upper tie straps to both hoses and remove both hoses from the upper mount. All right, DIYers, I also placed some towels up top to catch the fuel as I remove these hoses from the upper mount here. I recommend grabbing the upper mount with one hand so you do not bend or break anything, and carefully pull these hoses off. And well, that one doesn't leak much. And while I'm at it, I will also pull it up off the lower portion. And these hoses are very hard. All right, there we go. First hose is off. To the second hose, and you may be able to just slightly twist the fuel filter coupling and mount to give you better access to remove this hose. However, in our case, we can't do that. So I've got this little cobalt tool. I'm going to carefully cut the hose at the center point, and it will leak fuel. And again, the reason I'm doing this is because I don't have clearance to pull off this very hard, stiff hose, so I gotta cut it. And it leaks a little bit of fuel, and from here now I can begin twisting off this fuel filter housing. I set that filter aside. I'm going to remove the towels and the upper portion where the fuel filter cup or housing secures to. As I twisted that off, I had to apply upward pressure on this portion right here. So if you have to do that, you're not the only one. Old filter on the right hand side, new filter on the left. Let's go and open everything. Right now on the left hand side, I've got the two old hoses, and the new kit comes with one hose. We'll have to measure and cut, no problem whatsoever. 4 tie straps, old filter housing. And I went ahead and opened the new one just to verify that there is an internal filter, because hey, you never know. You'd hate to get one without a filter and not know it. So I'll carefully screw this back on, measure the old hoses, and cut them accordingly. And real quick, this part right here is what the threaded stud secures into, and the new kit came with a new one. However, it's the same thread as the old one. I'm going to use the old one that's already installed in the engine. Making progress, fuel filters back together, and I measure the hoses and cut them, and I use that same tool. Got a little bit of extra hose. Let's head back to the engine. Back at the engine, what I'll do first is realign this threaded stud to the upper ball, and without cross-threading it, I will screw this fuel filter housing in place and secure it. Do not over-tighten it. Same thing as before when you removed it. Apply downward pressure now on this portion right here and upward pressure on the fuel filter housing, and again, carefully secure it. You want it snug, but again, do not over-tighten it. Another quick tip, DIYers, in the event that you're having trouble screwing this into the internal ball, You can grab some pliers and carefully pinch right here. That will pinch the inner ball in place and alleviate it from spinning as you are twisting this in place. Again, that might help, just don't damage anything. After you secure the fuel filter housing, grab your hose. We are going to secure it to the lower nipple here, and we will secure it to the part that makes the 90-degree angle turn. Use a little bit of friendly force, but don't damage anything. On the opposite side of the engine, the hoses are properly secured, and what we'll do next is secure them with these zip ties. When securing these zip ties, make sure you are in the center portion below the nipple, and go ahead and secure them. And what we'll do is we'll clip the remaining portion of the zip tie away. With the zip ties securing the hoses to the nipples, the zip ties are pretty clever. They've got a rounded edge to it to help it create an even more tighter watertight seal. And again, we will snip away the remaining portions of the zip ties. And I've got 3 more to do. All zip ties are properly cut away. I'm going to prime the fuel filter with this ball. And as I push this, you may be able to see the fuel going into the cut. See that? There it is. And I'll keep pushing until it's all the way full. And I want to test for leaks. And at this point the cup is full. I'm going to continue pushing a couple more times and check all connection points and verify that there is no fuel leaking. And if all looks good, which it does, we are going to start the engine and run it for about 5 to 10 minutes and check for leaks. We won't bore you with that process. However, in the event that you want guidance on how to run an engine outside of the water, definitely check out the link scrolling above. All right, DIYers, all went well. We ran it for about 8 to 10 minutes and no leaks. We'll go ahead and resecure the cap. Carefully realign the cap properly and secure it with the lever. Hopefully this helps, DIYers. Hey, scrolling above also is an additional video that we run you through the steps on how to just replace the filter, not the entire housing. So definitely check that out. You may find it helpful. From here, do us a favor. Below the video, you will see that thumbs up icon. Click on that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely ring your YouTube bell. That would be very helpful to us. We would really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching.